Hi everyone and welcome once again. This is your number one unofficial spokesperson of the Obidati campaign. So there's something that just popped up on Channel's news at 10 and I'm just gonna play it for you. It's the three major parties having their rallies. Three major parties. Saying that about Nigeria is a big win already. Three major parties: the Labour Party, APC, and PDP. Let's just listen to what Channel's news have to say, and then we'll come back and just do some analysis and I'll spin on it, and then we'll see you at the end. All right, so let's play that video.
Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi woos voters in Lokoja, Kogi State, vows to unite and secure the nation and increase in minimum wage with emphasis on production. PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar takes his campaign to Jos, promises to ensure peace and returns to the state if he's elected in 2023. My administration will tackle banditry and kidnapping, APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu declares during a rally in Kaduna State. History is made.
All right, so we're going to stop it so far and just analyze what we've just heard. And I can actually play it back just so we can hear it again if you want. But let me just stop so far and let's just talk about what they have said. All right. So
in Kaduna State, see presidential candidate. My administration with emphasis on production, secure the nation and increase in minimum wage.
So the Labour Party candidate says we will secure the nation, increase minimum wage, right?
With emphasis on production. PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar takes his campaign to Jos, promises to ensure peace and returns to the state if he's elected in.
All right, so Atiku is promising peace to return to Jos, okay?
2023. My administration will tackle banditry and kidnapping, APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu declares during a rally in Kaduna State. History is made as the Society of Nigerian Broadcast.
All right, so that's the end of the headlines. Then they're going to go in and we'll hear from those candidates. But before we go any further, and I don't think I'm going to play any further of those videos, what I want us to pay attention to is what these guys are saying they will do. And again, I said it before, they are going to promise you the same things. It's going to be more of the same things, but which of them do you trust will deliver on what they say they will do? Which of them do you trust? So we're going to fast forward a little bit to what Peter Obi said. So I'm going to try to get to that point so we can listen to him and hear what he said and see if we really believe and trust that he will do what he said he will do. It is important that we should be able to trust our leaders to deliver on the promises, right? From antecedents, where do we think that they can deliver on what they promised they will do? So let's listen to Peter Obi a little bit more and we'll come back and we analyze that.
Is getting charged by the day as the various candidates continue to tour various parts of the country to woo voters. We begin with the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who maintains his mantra of moving the country from a consuming to producing nation. Peter Obi stated this at the Confluence Stadium in Lokoja while delivering his address during the rally, where he also vowed to secure the country. He noted that his administration, if given the opportunity, will make sure the production starts from local level, which will increase minimum wage, since the minimum wage today can hardly sustain workers.
What we are going to do, number one job is to secure Nigeria. We want to make Nigeria safe. We want to be able to unite Nigeria. Nigerians today are not living as a family. to you, if there's anything, you will go by the rule of law. That is what we want to do in Nigeria. We want to make sure that we will remove Nigeria from consumption to production. When the TUC former president was talking to you, he told you about minimum wage. We will ensure that minimum wage that is today and those who are being owed, we will work with the states and local governments to clear their standing. We will start thinking about how to continue to increase the minimum wage.
All right, so we're gonna stop it here now. So P2B and his running mate are promising to move Nigeria from consumption to production, and he says that we're going to look at a way of increasing the minimum wage. When you listen to the fuller version of this video, he talked about clearing the outstanding debt for those that have worked and are old. And we know from precedents, he's done it in Anambra State. He cleared all debts when he came. When he came in, people were old for up to 2 years. There was a time in Anambra State when under Dr. Ngige, I think it started with Mbadinuju, but I think under Dr. Ngige, there were about 13 months of non-payment of teachers' salaries. Peter became clear the salaries, clear the arrears, clear the pensions and gratuity, and even to the point that he was giving the seniors in Anambra State at least 5,000 naira a month. That was then, between 2006 and 2014. He was giving them that money by then. Think about the value of that money now, because then maybe naira was exchanging for 100, dollar was exchanging for 100 naira. So think about what the value was, right? So if you go by that amount, then it's equivalent to 5,000 naira. It's like equivalent to $50. And now if you take $50 now, when it is exchanging for almost 1,000, that's almost like 50,000 or 40 something thousand, maybe 40,000. Yeah, should be around 40,000 right now. If you exchange at 800, that was how much he was giving them then. So it was giving them something more than the minimum wage if you're using the exchange rate. But these are seniors. It wasn't because they were working, they were just older people in the state. So when he says he's going to do this, we can actually check his records. We can verify that he's done it, right? And every other candidate will tell you what will make you vote for them. But which of them do we trust to deliver, right? P2B has proven it time and again in Anambra State, so we can trust him to deliver on the promise. All right, so don't go by empty promises. Some guys are going to give you bags of rice, they'll steal some money from you and give you peanuts. P2B mentioned in his full speech. So they will steal from you and then give you peanuts. Don't fall for that. In that same rally, Yusuf Dati spoke, and Aisha also spoke, and Yusuf Dati promised the same. You know how we grew from the ranks. We didn't fall from nowhere. You know where we came from. There's no question about our history or background. And Aisha talked about holding the people in power accountable. We can't just vote for them and think they now have all the power. No, the Nigerian people are campaigning through these guys. We need to hold them accountable, for goodness sake. And we can't let the worst of us to always have the position of power. No, we need the best of us to have the position of power. That way fairness will reign. When the righteous prosper, the people rejoices. All right, so let's make sure that the righteous get into power this time around. Again, get your PVC, make sure you vote, and when you vote, make sure that your thumbs are within the boundaries. Don't vote outside the boundaries, right? Put your thumbprint within the boundaries, right? They have started collecting PVC since the 12th, which is yesterday. So if you don't have your PVC, try to get yours. Get your PVC. And when you vote, put your fingers within the boundaries, not on the line, within. You can use your pointing finger or any other finger. If you have a fat finger, fat thumb, use your pointing finger or index finger, whatever finger you can use that will make sure that you vote within that box. And you're voting for human being. We're voting for man, woman, and child, mama, papa, and Pikin. We're voting for that. We're not voting for Zenith Labour Party. We're not voting for any other logo. We are voting for man, woman, child, or woman, man, child. Right? We're voting for three people: man, woman, and child. We're not voting for 5 or 6 or more people. No, three people: mama, papa, Pikin. Right? Labour Party. That's what we're voting for. Right? Again, I'm not a card carrying member of any party. I could be, promoting another candidate tomorrow if I really support them. Like if I was in Lagos, maybe I'll be voting, maybe promoting Banky W or something like that because I go by the people, right? By the people, by the individuals. So in this case, in the presidential election, I am going with Obi and Dati. So let's vote for Obi and Dati in this presidential election. We need to get it right. You've been praying, you've been asking God all your life, God, give us good governance. Why can't we be like America or the UK or the other parts in the West? You've been praying that prayer, but think about it. If God grants you one wish, and says, just this one wish, answer your own prayer this time around, who would you vote for? Because sometimes we ask God to do things that we are not willing to accept. We're not willing to actually let him do what we ask him to do. You're asking God to give you good governance, and God says, well, all right, I've given you sense and I've given you life, and you are agile and you are able, and you can actually go and vote for the person you want. And you go and vote for the wrong person, and you come back, you go to church, you go to mosque, because Nigerians all trust us. We can go to churches, we can go to mosque. Every Sunday we're in church, every Friday we're in mosque, and every other day. And when I say every other day, I mean actually every day we're in church or in mosque. Every day in Nigeria. Either you're having Monday prayer, Tuesday Bible study, Wednesday another program in church, Thursday youth, Friday Bible study, or maybe preparatory class, Saturday choir, Sunday service. Every day we're in church. And then there's another group that pray every morning. And there's another group that pray every Monday morning, in the AM. Some pray from 7 to 9, others pray from 9 to something. Every time there's somebody praying. And even there are sometimes you see people forming chain prayers in Nigeria. From January 1st to December 31st, people are praying. We like to pray a lot. But this is my take on prayer. Prayer is what you do after you've walked, or what you do before you walk. Prayer is not magic. Right? So if you say, God, I need a job, please give me a job. Then after you say that prayer, you should get up and actually look, and then you will see. You should get up and look, right? But you can't just finish praying and then lock yourself up in your room and then turn your phone off so nobody calls you, and then don't answer the door when somebody knocks. How are you gonna get the job? If you're praying for God to give you idea where you're in your room, is a different thing. You close your door, then you have to have a paper and pen. Prayer is never something you do and it's done. No. If you're praying, if your prayer is, God, give me an idea, I want to be in my room, I want to get $1 million idea, you have to have paper and pen, so that when the idea comes, you write it down. You have to have a posture of somebody who wants to receive. Likewise, in this election, we'll be asking for good governance. There's nobody that is not affected by this killing and banditry that is going on, bad governance. There's nobody that's not affected. Even the politicians, the thieves themselves, there's nobody that's not affected, because you can't go to your hometown without having police around you. And even when you have police around you, they can shoot and kill those police, and you're afraid. Nobody's safe. So after you pray all those prayers and you know the right thing to do is to put your thumb on the people you can trust, who have the capacity, who has the competence, who has the track record. You know that. But out of envy and jealousy and any other thing that I don't want to use the words for, you refuse to vote for these guys. You vote for the people that make you keep suffering the way you've been suffering. And then you go back and keep praying. No, but you do be that. Who did this to us? Who did this to us? When you can stand up and say enough is enough. I am casting my vote for this candidate. And if they get it wrong, the next cycle you cast your vote for another person until you get the person that gets it right. But you can't know knowingly, intentionally, knowingly, like some people say, oh, you know you will never win. Why do you say that? Because the other guys are thieves? Because they will steal the ballot? Why do you say that? And some people will say, oh, we know the language, they understand, we'll give them a vote and they'll vote for us. And then they won't hold you accountable. What is that? And for those who are gearing up and getting ready to rig elections, you already know that you have nothing to offer. Have dignity, have some self-respect, and step out of the way. If people don't want you, they don't want you. When you see Obi coming, you see the crowd. You know, in the multitude of the people is the king's honor. And as they say, the voice of the people is the voice of God. And people have spoken this time. The people have said, enough is enough. Enough is enough. So step out of the way. Why would you force yourself on the people that you claim to love or care about or want to serve? Why would you force yourself on them? If they don't want you, just get out of the way. Because governance is supposed to be selfless, right? In my one of my broadcasts, I'm going to talk to you about something I wrote in 1998. You know, I called it my vision for a democratized Nigeria. You know, and in that I talked about Julius Nyerere and so many other world leaders, Jesus Christ, David, King David, and many other people, how they viewed leadership, right? Even Gandhi and the rest of us, I talked about so many people, how they viewed leadership, not as a means of self-enrichment, but as a means of enriching all. And Peter Obi embodies all these qualities. So when you see me supporting him, it's not something that started today. It was way back when I was much younger then, 1998. And I wrote that article, My Vision for a Democratized Nigeria. It was for a radio program I participated in, and it was read on the radio. I think it was one of the best, either the best or the first runner up. You know, my vision for a democratized Nigeria. What I want to see in a democratized Nigeria, that was before the 1999 general elections. You know, and I'm yet to see that fully come to pass. And then I'm seeing huge portions of it in the person, in the man and person of Peter Obi. That's why I'm pitching my tent with him. Don't think that this just happened out of the blues or maybe it's a tribalistic or something. No, no, this is because I see in him the qualities, right? I see in him the capabilities and the track record to deliver. So let us make this happen. Let us not just be praying for praying's sake. Let us put our votes where our voice is. Good one is that. Let's put your vote where your voice is. Again, remember, don't sell your vote because your vote is your voice and your voice is your conscience. When you say your vote, you've sold your voice. When you say your voice, you've sold your conscience. And when you say your conscience, you're not allowed to speak for another 4 years. We can't live with the same, more of the same for another 4 years. That's not going to happen. Ain't nobody got time for that. So remember, comment, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next